Good evening to you and welcome to KTN Weekend Prime. Today was a very busy day in Kenyan politics as various political parties held their national delegates conferences. 4 of these parties, other than the Jubilee party, endorsed the presidential candidature of President Uhuru Kenyatta. We have more details for you on that in this bulletin. But other than politics, today was a very proud day for Kenyans as a 32-year-old Eliud Kipchoge ran the quickest recorded marathon really in 2 hours and 25 seconds. Of course, it didn't meet that attempt that he had of doing it in under 2 hours, but still a great feat at that. We have details of that as well in this bulletin. But before we get into that, let's take a look at the highlights of this bulletin tonight.
Muniunge mkono tuweze kuendelea na kazi ya kuunganisha Wakenya.
I want to thank you very much for giving me the honor to be your running mate.
Jubilee Party formally endorses Uhuru and Ruto as their presidential flag bearers.
Tarehe 8 mwezi ya 8 hata Wakenya watakuchagua ukue rais tena.
We have been saying we support you unconditionally.
Other Jubilee political allies also endorse Uhuru and Ruto. And it's a sigh of relief for Professor Anyang' Nyong'o as he is cleared to vie for the Kisumu governor's position.
Mifugo nyingi imekufa huko, wanyama wakiwa malishoni. Hakuna kitu yalibaki hapa.
Plus, thousands of livestock succumbed to the ravaging drought in Samburu. Many thanks for joining us. My name is Sharon Momanyi. Our sign language interpreter tonight is William Sila. Let's begin with the national delegates conferences. And President Uhuru Kenyatta has formally been endorsed by his Jubilee party to seek re-election with a promise to continue his administration's transformation agenda. The president acknowledged the harsh economic times facing Kenyans, but promised that his government is working round the clock to mitigate the situation.
It's here at the Bomas of Kenya that President Uhuru Kenyatta was given the green light to defend his seat come August. And the president made a new pledge to his supporters and the nation.
I hereby declare that as the presidential candidate of the Jubilee Party, I will conduct my campaign peacefully and discourage all acts of violence by any individual or group, whether in my support or otherwise. I will not engage in talk or action that will incite the public negatively and or inflame tribal tension.
Knowing too well what awaits him as the campaign season sets in, the president dismissed the opposition stand that the country's economy is in turmoil.
Na wenzangu, mimi sisemi ya kwamba kwa muda wa miaka hiyo yote we don't have problems. We do. Kama sasa tunajua gharama ya unga imeenda juu, na sisi tuwafanya juu chini kuona ni nini ambayo tutaweza kufanya tuhakikishe ya kwamba tumesaidia mwananchi kushukisha hiyo bei ya unga na sukari na mambo yale mengine.
Wale kuna tofauti mkubwa. Niliwaambia they believe in power sharing, we believe in the empowerment of every citizen. They believe in sharing positions, we believe in creating jobs for millions of our young people.
Deputy President William Ruto said Jubilee is confident of defeating the Raila Odinga ticket fair and square.
Wamehangaika kutafuta candidate miaka 3. Kwa hiyo miaka 3 walikuwa wanamangamanga kutafuta candidate. Jubilee has transformed this country. Na sisi tunawaambia kwa sababu wamelete wangwana wale. Sisi tunawaambia wembe ni ule ule.
Jubilee Party also punched holes in NASA's 10 million plus vote agenda.
But I know where the 10 million is coming from, Mr. President. We are aware they are setting up a tallying center in Tanzania. We are aware. When they said the tallying center, they want to hack the IEBC system. We are aware of that. And they want to use fake results, imaginary voters, to claim victory. But we, the Jubilee leadership sitting here, in our villages, in our polling stations, we will form teams that will guard our votes.
Ndani ya Jubilee, maslahi ya vijana yamefanyika, na ukitaka kujua ni kweli yamefanyika, angalia jinsi mchujo wetu ulivyoenda. A revolution has been occasioned. Nataka niwajulishe ya kwamba ikiwa ulikuwa unatafuta chama ambacho kinasimamia maslahi ya vijana wa nchi hii, chama hicho ni chama cha Jubilee.
With the president prevailing upon all those who lost in the nominations to support winners if Jubilee is to win overwhelmingly. We will not join you in the league of talking about problems bedeviling the nation, but rather we will remain focused in offering solution to those problems, is the message the Jubilee leadership is giving to the opposition, as President Uhuru Kenyatta is formally endorsed by his Jubilee party to seek his re-election. Duncan Haimba, KTN News at Bomas.
Right, and in that story, you had the allegations made by Aden Duale regarding the parallel tallying center that NASA is planning to form, and that forms the basis of our Saturday night poll. And tonight, we're asking you, do you think NASA's planned parallel tallying center is a ploy to rig the election? Do you think that NASA's planned parallel tallying center is a ploy to rig the election? Do share with us your views on this particular issue by tweeting me directly at Sharon_Momanyi or at KTN News and at KTN Kenya, and I shall be sampling your views as we continue with this bulletin. Let's move on now, and the Kanu National Delegates Convention also formally endorsed President Kenyatta as the party's preferred presidential candidate in the general election. The president assured the delegates that his government will share power with Kanu if he is re-elected for a second term in office.
At 1:30, Kanu chairman and Baringo Senator Gideon Moi, together with Secretary General Nick Salat, entered the Kasarani Sports Complex Gymnasium. The two had convened a National Delegates Convention whose agenda was to seek members' approval to support President Uhuru Kenyatta's re-election bid. Kanu will not be fielding a presidential candidate in the August poll. An hour later, President Uhuru Kenyatta arrived to a jubilant welcome by Kanu delegates. The president is seeking a second term in office under the Jubilee Party of Kenya and will require every kind of backup from political parties that have expressed a soft support for his candidature. The Independence Party gave Uhuru the much needed assurance.
Hapa wewe si mgeni. This is your home. Tumefanya mengi pamoja. Ile tu mimi nasemanga ulienda matembezi kidogo lakini utarudi nyumbani.
Today, you've come to ask your own for support. We will never lock you out.
And the president returned the favor.
Haya, Jogo! Kweli niko nyumbani. Nina furaha tele siku ya leo tukiwa pamoja nanyi. Najisikia mimi niko nyumbani, pahali ambapo nilizaliwa kisiasa.
Indeed, in October 2002, inside this plenary, then President Daniel Arap Moi led Kanu delegates to endorse Uhuru Kenyatta as Kanu's flag bearer. Uhuru lost to Nax Mwai Kibaki. And as August 1st approaches, Uhuru wants a favor from Kanu.
Na waomba kwa heshima kuu, mukubali muniunge mkono, tufanye kazi pamoja.
In 2007, Uhuru did not run for presidency under a Kanu ticket. He instead supported President Mwai Kibaki's re-election under the Party of National Unity, PNU. But even as Kanu promised a vigorous campaign for Uhuru's re-election, it called for a power-sharing deal, and Uhuru was agreed.
Nataka ndani kabisa. Hii kukaa nje hii. And the last time we delivered for President Kibaki, and you know it, we were not considered in his makeup of government. But this time around, Your Excellency, usitufungie nje.
Kama Kanu ungekuwa kando ya serikali, Uhuru Kenyatta angefika hapa. We are part and parcel of this government. Now Kanu inaonga Uhuru Kenyatta, na ile serikali ambayo itakuja, yeye mwenyewe atajua bila atapanga.
Na mimi niwahakikishie ya kwamba nyinyi kama wana Kanu, tukishashinda mtakuwa ndani kabisa ya serikali.
Earlier on, some aspirants addressed delegates for the journey ahead.
Na baada ya kushinda hii uchaguzi, tukiingisha Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta 2022, tuko na Mheshimiwa Gideon Moi amekaa hapa. Na hiyo sisi hatujali kama wengine wanasimamisha rais wa Jamhuri wa Kenya 2022, lakini sisi tuko na Gideon Moi.
Chama cha Kanu kiko na sisi tutasimama imara na tutasimama nyuma ya chama wetu. Anaitwa nani? Anaitwa Gideon, na tutasimama nyuma yake. Asanteni sana.
President Uhuru Kenyatta asked Kenyans to be on the front line to preach peace and ensure violence-free elections. Patrick Amimo, KTN News.
And even as the president received a nod from his party to vie for a second term in office, political outfits outside the Jubilee party also added their weight to Uhuru Kenyatta's endorsement, with the president promising quote-unquote goodies to four parties today if Jubilee wins the August 8th polls. Timothy Otieno reports.
A rousing welcome for a man receiving endorsement from more than 3,000 delegates of a party whose leader at one point in time had aligned herself with the opposition. But today, the script was different. The NARC Kenya party was throwing its full weight behind the re-election of President Uhuru Kenyatta. The party leader and Kirinyaga gubernatorial aspirant Martha Karua would sing praises to the president, whom she insisted had the best interests of Kenyans at heart.
I have played in the two main teams in this country. And when I was playing in the other team, not all the members of this party were happy, because some felt that we were in the wrong place. We have now made a conscious decision as people who have fraternized with both teams. We have chosen to be in your team.
The president, while receiving the hearty endorsement, promised that the Jubilee administration would accommodate NARC Kenya if it formed the next government.
Nikiwa mwana Jubilee, furaha yangu yazidi kwa sababu tumeungana na chama ambacho kutoka mwanzo wake believes in the fundamental principle that I personally and my party believes in. heart is the principle of one Kenya, one nation, one people.
Citing his track record of development as a reason to be re-elected, the head of state would criticize the opposition for having no meaningful agenda for the country.
Wenzetu wamekaa mwaka mzima wakitafutia wanaume 4 kazi. Unaelewana? Wakitafutia wanaume 4 kazi. Wamekaa mwaka mzima. Sasa sisi tunataka tujiulize, haja yetu ni kazi ya wanaume 4 au ni kazi kwa mamilioni ya vijana wetu ambao wanataka kazi?
The same tune would be sung at the Maendeleo Chap National Delegates Convention in Nairobi that saw a jig between the president and the party leader Alfred Mutua, welcome a green light from the party to have Uhuru Kenyatta vie for a second term in office.
Mimi nikikuangalia I feel proud. Na sisi kama wa Kenya, we are proud of you. You have not let us down.
Maendeleo, maendeleo. Asanteni sana.
The Economic Freedom Party would also host the president later in the day, pledging unwavering support for his candidature for another 5-year term in office.
Your Excellency, there is no doubt in my mind that in you and your deputy, William Samoei Ruto, that you will get unquestionable nod from all Kenyans for second term for your track record in leadership manifesto and unprecedented development you have initiated in the last 4 years.
The avalanche of support for the head of state may go a long way in boosting his re-election campaign against his political opponents from the National Super Alliance, who are determined to unseat President Uhuru Kenyatta from office come August the 8th. Timothy Otieno, KTN News.
No doubt a busy day for the president there. Now let's move away from the NDCs and the Marsabit, actually still with the NDCs, and the Marsabit Cultural Festival was awash with color and pomp. And there was politics too, as our reporter Moses Wahisi now reports. Leaders of the area's Frontier Alliance Party are also supporting President Kenyatta's re-election bid.
17th edition of the Lake Turkana Marsabit Cultural Festival has been an epic affair with the different 15 communities of Marsabit County showcasing their cultural diversity. Today, the regional leaders are preaching peace, but for the last 2 weeks, cattle rustling has dominated this region, with Laisamis Member of Parliament Joseph Lekutony challenging North Horr Member of Parliament Chachu Ganya of failing to take responsibilities on the trouble caused by the members of his community.
Ninataka achukue responsibility ya ile mali ya Turkana ilichukuliwa juzi na ile mtu aliuawa. Hiyo mali irudi na irudi yote. Na Mheshimiwa Chachu, take that responsibility as a leader, as I have taken mine.
Wahuni, wakora, vijana apange na sisi kama viongozi, lakini sisi tunakataa kabisa mizozo baina ya jamii. Na tutahakikisha hiyo mali yote imerudi.
Newly formed Frontier Alliance party leaders, including the Marsabit Governor Oktar Yatani, who's the party leader, Laisamis Member of Parliament Joseph Lekutony, who's the deputy party leader, Moyale Member of Parliament, that is Robert Duba, together with North Horr Member of Parliament Chachu Ganya, and also Joe Kanguchu, have all pledged their support for the re-electional bid for President Uhuru Kenyatta.
Multi-party imefika kila mahali na imefika Marsabit pia. Zamani zingine tunaenda kwa chama zingine, tunaambiwa hapana, wewe unatoka jamii ndogo, huwezi kuwa chairman, huwezi kuwa party leader, huwezi kuwa hii ama huwezi kuwa hili. Lakini sasa tumetengeneza chama chetu, chama ambayo imezaliwa hapa Marsabit, lakini imeenea nchi mzima kwa muda sasa mwezi mbili.
Mara huu tunawaomba kura kwa chama yetu. Atuambie ODM, atuambie mtu yote. Of course kule juu nimewaambia tuna support president wetu wa Jubilee Uhuru Kenyatta, lakini hapo chini tunaomba kura kwa chama yetu ya Frontier Alliance Party.
Tunaweza kusherehekea pamoja, tunaweza kudansa pamoja, lakini kama hakuna real value for peace, then there is no need to pretend.
After the formation of the Frontier Alliance Party, which comprises of some of the key former Orange Democratic Movement members, the political temperatures are getting high each day here in Marsabit County. But of one key importance is that all these leaders are pledging and pleading the members of this community to have peace. Moses Wahesi, KTN News, Marsabit County.
Well, thank you for that, Moses. And in Bomet County, Governor Isaac Ruto was breathing fire against Deputy President William Ruto in the first political rally the Chama Cha Mashinani leader held after joining NASA. Ruto's comments left no doubt whatsoever that the supremacy battle for the Rift Valley is alive and well.
It was the first political rally that Bomet Governor Isaac Ruto was holding in his backyard exactly a week after he was formally received by the NASA principals as he officially joined the opposition. It was also an opportunity to hand over certificates to those aspiring to contest for various elective seats under CCM party. However, the rally was turned into a crusade against the Jubilee regime and, to be precise, the deputy president.
Wewe ukija na hiyo fitina yako tutakwambia funga milango enda kwako. Wewe ulijaribu na mada. Wewe hukufaulu. Hebu thubutu tena kuja Bomet na kutuambia hiyo. Wana wakitoka Nairobi kila siku wanakuja kuchokoza Isaac Ruto. Hati wanasema wameleta lami. Bwana Gavana, iko lami umeona? Iko lami umeona?
The politicians gave their arguments against the Jubilee's second term.
Unga, kanuni ya pili sahi. Halafu sasa sukari ni shilingi 200. Sasa 200 plus 200 is 400 shillings. Wewe hujanunua sabuni, hujachukua. So in Kenya to live, wewe kuishi Kenya hii, anda Jubilee lazima uwe na shilingi 500 kila siku. Wengine walikuwa wananiambia ati wakabeji na wezi pigia kura Raila. Sisi tulipigia 207. Tuko makaza gani tukirudia?
IEBC was also put on the spot for appealing a case in court where they want election results to be announced in Nairobi and not at the polling centers. They threatened to boycott the elections if the court rules in IEBC's favor.
Now we are asking IEBC to respect the will of the people. And uchaguzi itatangazwa kwa polling center na constituencies. Ndio. Hakuna kura itapelekwa hapa mpaka Nairobi atitangazwe.
Na wasidhubutu kwa sababu nimeambia Isaac Ruto sisi kama Chama Cha Mashinani tutatoa parallel IEBC.
Chama Cha Mashinani party will be fielding candidates in all elective positions countrywide except that of the presidency. With 3 months to the August 8th elections, one of the main challenges that Isaac Ruto will be facing is popularize the NASA presidential candidate Raila Odinga in an area perceived to be a Jubilee stronghold, even as he prepares to face one of his main challenges for the Bomet gubernatorial seat, Dr. Joyce Laboso. Chris Dairo, KTN News in Bomet County.
All right, so it's not only the CCM leader, Governor Isaac Ruto, who was breathing fire today. At the Bomas of Kenya, we also saw the majority leader in the National Assembly, Aden Duale, making claims that NASA is planning to use that planned parallel tallying center to rig the elections. And now we are inviting your views on these allegations made by Aden Duale on our Saturday night poll tonight. And we're asking you, do you think that NASA's planned parallel tallying center is a ploy to rig the election. Do you agree or disagree with this allegation? Do share your thoughts with us directly to me at Sharon_Momanyi or at KTN News and at KTN Kenya. You can also text us at 22155. I shall be sampling your views. But right now we want to take a short break here on KTN Weekend Prime. Don't go too far. We have more when we return.